Banks traditionally have distributed materials to their board members via bound paper board books. This is a highly labor-intensive process for the bank. It's a lot of effort going in to produce these paper materials, and then there's a lag in distribution of these materials to the board members. The paper binders or books will be overnighted or couriered to the board members, costing the board members valuable time in being able to review those materials. Diligent board books enables a bank to much more quickly produce these materials electronically, giving the board members real-time, immediate access to these materials. Typically, a bank using diligent board books will enjoy a tremendous savings in the amount of time it takes to produce the materials, be able to make them instantly available to the board members who can access them from any electronic device of their choosing to review and annotate their materials. We've been providing board portals since 2001, so for many years the way that a board member would be accessing the materials was via a PC, via a laptop or a desktop computer. And whereas they can still do that, what's much more popular now is for a board member to log in via a tablet, particularly the iPad. The iPad really gives them some very unique and interesting functionality. Of course, from whatever device they're logging in from, they have real-time access to a large amount of materials. But on the iPad, a board member can log in online anytime, any place in the world, but they can also have the capability of accessing their materials when not connected to the internet. This gives them even more flexibility and access to a wide array of information. They can access and annotate board and committee materials for an upcoming meeting. Over time, the portal also becomes an unlimited repository of information from previous meetings. So board members also have access to whatever archived information the bank wants to provide to them, as well as any other information that the bank needs to provide to its board members, whether or not it's other governance information or financial information, or even the ability to access questionnaires, surveys, or do online voting. These are all parts of the technology and parts of the system in use by banks now. Security is, of course, of paramount importance when moving to an electronic means of distributing board and committee materials. The clients who use diligent board books come to understand that it's actually a more secure way of controlling and distributing their materials than what they were doing previously. Most banks coming to us before they were board books clients have been compiling and shipping out paper books. These are materials which may be messengered or FedExed, overnighted in some way, left on someone's doorstep. Board members carry them around with them. They may leave them places, they may lose them. Once those materials leave the bank, there's really no control over them. Using diligent board books, the bank actually has much tighter control over their materials. You're controlling who can access the materials, even down to a document level. And even though users are accessing them electronically, that doesn't mean that they can take away those materials. You can control the ability to download them or print them. You actually have a much tighter, more secure wrap on your materials, even being able to pull them back from someone who's accessed them electronically. When a bank is using diligent board books, they of course completely control and own all of their materials, all of the documentation that they're distributing electronically. But what the diligent board book system does is highly encrypt all of that material. It's a system that we've created, something where the materials are very highly encrypted when they're at rest and when they're being transmitted. It gives banks a much tighter and safer control on those documents which are being distributed electronically. Diligent Board Books is a software-as-a-service subscription model. Our clients pay an annual licensing fee based on the number of users that they have. So the prices vary depending upon the size of the organization, how many boards they're using it for, how many people are accessing the materials. A lot of times, organizations don't necessarily think about what the production and distribution of their board materials are costing. If you go to an electronic solution, it means you're greatly cutting down on the amount of time it takes to produce these materials. So there's a tremendous savings in labor and time in putting the materials together, as well as producing and distributing the materials. Most of our clients see a return on investment in moving to diligent board books, not just in the reduction of these hard costs, but in the improvement of soft costs of providing greater information in a faster, more secure way to their users.